Hart here. I just want to let you know that the Pulsechain.com mainnet has launched, and PulseX.com on that mainnet has launched as well. I hope you guys are all enjoying it. We waited a couple years for this, and it's finally here.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Hex Token Channel. Your host Superman in the house. And hey, do you guys like green candles? Because we've got green candles across the board. And of course, we've got the big tease from Richard Hart there about PulseX single side staking pools. And of course, a Pulsechain is pumped and PulseX is pumped there. Everything's pumping. The Richard Hart golden standard of crypto. And hey, look, we're only on day, day 57 or something. It is crazy. And of course, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have next month, in month 3, we've got all the big top tier DeFi lending protocols, which means leverage. Leverage means price pumps. And of course, what else do we have? We have the big NFT marketplaces coming out in month 3 and 4 as well. So the big 4 and the big 3, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're just getting warmed up on the old Pulsechain. And of course, now we've got the single side staking being talked about by Richard. So it's going to be a lot of fun, folks. Hope you guys enjoy the show. It really is going to be Green Candle Day here on Hex Token Channel. And of course, it is a Sunday here in good old New Zealand at the bottom of the world. And we are in the future, of course. It's currently 11:30 a.m. on the 9th of July. A beautiful Sunday outside with rain and overcast and wind. But apart from that, I'm still going for my walk today. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's get into the chat, though, and say hello to whoever's jumped in there. Let us see who has arrived. We've got Sandy Beach in first today. No way. Sandy Beach, well done, man. Well done on that. That's fantastic. We've got Lies Beneath in the house as well. The Church Universe Oneness is in actually before Lies Beneath. Those Tease pumps feel good. Makes me imagine what real outside of legacy investment into ecosystem will do. 100%. That's coming down the pipeline too. We're going to get all that sort of stuff with the Hex Investment Trust. Hopefully they're going to move into Pulse and PulseX, and of course other institutions come into play as well. And of course we're going to have the Coast Fiat on-ramp once they get their commercial arrangements back in place. Let's wait for that. We have Brazology as well. Hey, family, everybody enjoying the pump? Absolutely. And, of course, we've got the Heist Stakes trailer coming out. What's that, about a day and a half now, something like that? Must be pretty close. So that's coming up as well. We've got Crypto Nights in house here. Hopefully the community loves each other. Again, now we have a pump. Yeah, get a bit of that. That's part of crypto, though, isn't it? Green candles, everyone's friendly and happy. Red candles, you get the fudsters coming out. It's just the way it goes. What else have we got going there? It seems like single-sided staking is what everybody wants. Let's hope it brings in newcomers, says Crypto Night. Certainly, it's a lot easier for, less risk and obviously no risk and people, it's more for everybody, right? So it's kind of like that. I guess it's the way that people look at it. And it's on PulseX, which people trust, right? So, you got the trust factor is very powerful too. Kryptonite in house. I'm sorry you felt that way. I'm not sure what that's about. I guess you guys are talking about something. Let me see here. Super is coming. No drama channel. That is true. We are a no drama channel on here. And of course, we're a family friendly channel as well. Just remember that as well. We like to keep, that's kind of the principles of the channel. And of course, our third principle of the channel is freedom. We love freedom. So push back politically against people trying to take away our rights. Wherever you are around the world, don't stand by because they're looking to take them from you. So what else we got there? We've got some positive news in the Netherlands. Of course, the government there falling, that fascist government, and I'm using that term generally. They were going to take all the food away from farmers and all sorts of crazy stuff over there, and they're trying to do that in other places, of course. And it looks like their government's down. That's, thank goodness. Those bad, terrible governments need to go down. There are too many of them, of course, and so we need to, have them taken down. So positive. But anyway. We're in crypto, so at least we have some green candles to light the way, isn't it? Right, there's some green candles. Crypto Knight says, how much lettuce hands feels who bowed out a couple of days ago. DCA is king. Hodl. That is true. Who else has jumped in here? What else? We had DCAing. Sandy Beach is DCAing. I did a little DCA earlier. Crypto Knight says, I just did a little more myself, Sandy. So people are DCAing there as well. Hexforce 1 has landed. Good to see you as well, Hexforce 1. Always a pleasure and an honor. I got a bit crazy in the chat there earlier, as you can see. I was doing all sorts of crazy power stuff there. We got Brian in the house as well. Good to see you, Brian. Who else has jumped in here? Bob Wells. Good to see you, Bob. Obviously, Lies Beneath is in the house as well. Hello, everybody. Harry Williams, yo. Good to see you. Hello, everybody. Good to see you, Harry, as well. We've got a lot of the good usuals around. Pulse Bezos, what's going on, my friend? Good to see you, Pulse. Bezos, it's been a little while, I think, isn't it? So good to see you back in the chat. We're going to jump past one of those comments. We'll jump past all that. We got Hexcavator in the house there. Woo-hoo-hoo, 20 tons. Good to see Hexcavator in the house. 20 tons. Matt and Barley as well. Quick hello to say hello, everybody. Good to see you, Matt, as always. Matt is the flying buyer. Good to see you, Matt. Charity Dunning as well. Big hearts out there. Good to see you, Charity. Love the big red hearts. Academiciated evening all. Good to see you. Who else is there? Matt says green candles only a 10x to get back to testnet highs well near a 10x. Yeah, a good point there, Matt. Good point. What else? We've got Pulsedemics in the house. Morning from Queensland. Keen for single side staking. Yeah, seems like it's pretty popular. We're going to talk about that too. We're actually going to flash back to Richard Hart back into 2021. So I hope you look forward to that. That's coming up. It's just one of a couple of comments he made about single side staking. We're going to pull that up here as well. Dan Wednesday says best hex streamer in the Southern Hemisphere, not the world. I like that one, Dan. I like that as well. SSS for the win, says Sandy Beach. Absolutely. Yeah, on this channel, we've been live streaming every day, relentlessly for years now. And if not on this channel, on other channels I've been on, we've been covering Hex and Richard Hart. Of course, my original Hex channel got taken down back in 2020. Just the way it goes. Amongst the purge. We call it the period of the purges. Hey, JJ Alley in the house there. Yo, what's up, peeps? Good to see you, JJ. The thing I should have done back in 2020 is actually just restarted my channel. I should have just restarted on another channel. But, I had things going on, so that didn't happen at the time. Love to stand for freedom against tyranny and tyrants. Charles says, absolutely, man. We know what these guys are up to. I'm thinking New Zealand, Australia, Canada, Europe, UK, even the Democrats in America, they're all up to take our rights away, and we need to push back now because these guys are almost going for complete power. So we're going to have some wins like Netherlands. We've still got a lot of work to do because they're going for the complete power play, which means we may never be able to get rid of them ever. And, of course, that means we'll live under some sort of 1984 rule. So yeah, it's a bit sad. So we've definitely got to push back on the freedom there. DGN as well, When Moon. Well, hopefully it's starting today, DGN. Hopefully it's starting today. We've got SKB in the house. Hey, SKB. Now, SKB was the first channel member on Hex Token. So a big shout out to SKB. Pops in every so often. This is the way, absolutely. And of course, he was a Hex Token channel member as well, which is the top membership level. So a big shout out to you, SKB. Man, it's good to see you in the chat there as well. And of course, a special thanks to all my Hex Token channel members that are supporting this channel, which is just a cool way of doing that. And if you want to do that, just hit the join button. We've got Pulsechins, Hexkins, and the Richard Hart Club. And actually, SKB's in the Richard Hart Club, I should say. So yeah, very, very cool. Lance Mitchell in the house there. Hey, can you bridge Hex from Pulsechain to Ethereum? And what would happen if you did? Well, you can. You will have Hex from over on Pulsechain. So it's just gets bridged over. So that's easily done. We might show you that later on in the live stream. What else there? If you want the contracts, get in for into the Discord, and I'm sure Brian or somebody will post you the contract for that. You can just bridge it over there, and you can pair it up too, and liquidity pools and fees. Ashtree in the house there. Woohoo! Howdy all. Good to see Ashtree. Who else there? Bob Wells as well. The RH ecosystem charts are looking amazing. They are looking particularly good. And of course, we're just on the takeoff phase, right? Just that sacrifice price for Pulse. So PulseX might do some interesting things as well. We're going to talk about the relativity plays amongst the coins. We're going to do a big commentary on that today. Rev 10 in the house. Hey, everybody. Hey. Who else has jumped in here? We're going to do a couple more names. We're up to 10 minutes, so we're going to move on in a second. Archipelago, hi, all good to see you. Astro in the house, Superman the Machine, 100%. We are not stopping. We're just going to keep going. And, of course, Archipelago in there with 3 months of membership, Richard Hart Club. The best YouTube channel there is. I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Archipelago. Really, really cool comments. And thank you for the ongoing support. Yeah, boy. All right. I think we're up to date. We're going to go to the first topic, which is Richard Hart. Let's go to Richard Hart. Bam. And, of course, Richard Hart here. This was the big tweet that got everything going. I wonder what app.pulsex.com/farms single-sided pools instead of farms experience would do. So we're going to be looking out for this. It's going to be interesting. What will happen here? And of course, there are a couple of different options. I know some people put out some kind of weird options out there, but we're not going to talk about those. It's possible, but not probable. And of course, single-sided staking pools. We will see what Richard comes up here with this at the moment. Obviously, you could have third party drops, you've got incentive token, things like that. So we'll be looking at that from Richard. We've got a little video flashback here. So let's watch this. This is from, I think, October 2021. And he did do another video, I think, in December 2021. And of course, that was about the fact that there probably wouldn't be what single-sided staking pools. But this is the thing with Richard. What Richard says, what Richard knows, and what Richard does, they can be different sometimes. Sometimes he likes, if you got a playbook, right? If you got a playbook, you're going to tell everybody your playbook. You're not going to tell everybody your playbook, right? So, just you got to stack into body language interpretations after that point. But in any case, let's get into his little, his video on this one. And I've got to remember to take it off after I finish. So here we go.
Auto stake for PulseX. I don't know. I don't know. So there's a DAO that issues the incentive token. And so the DAO can just decide that. And it could start with parameters. Since so many people have asked, maybe there should be. But I'm not sure if there will be or not. But it's possible.
All right, so you get the idea is that a lot of people were asking about it even way back in 2021. And of course, he's like, I'm not sure there will be. The DAO gets to decide. Obviously, we don't have a DAO up at the moment, which will be based on the PulseX token. And of course, he says, possibly there will be. And of course, now it looks like he's teasing an experiment, which is where we get to today. I wonder what single-sided staking pools instead of farm experience would do. So pretty interesting stuff there. Now, that's had 120,000 views pretty much. And so that's doing pretty well over the last 16 hours. So doing pretty good there. So let's go to the actual PulseX and have a look at the pools. So we've got PulseX pools here. We've got no pools on here at the moment. Stake PulseX and earn other tokens. And of course, we've got nothing up at the moment. So that could just could be out before you even post a tweet, depending on what he puts up there. So you're going to have to keep refreshing this thing. You have to keep refreshing this PulseX site here, okay? Just make you see. And of course, will it pop up on V2 either? I get that it's going to be V1, but hey, maybe it pops up on V2. So stay tuned for that. All right. V1, of course, wouldn't be a bit more. We'll see. It'll be V1 there, but it could be V2. We'll see what happens there. I think that's going to affect the buy and burn in particular. So kind of cool there. With the farms, now with this news, guess what's gone? So single-sided staking pools, SSS, is some form of it's coming. And of course, guess what is gone? All the PRC20 price ups are gone. The Pepe, the Wrap Bitcoin, the Link, the Uni, that's all gone. And where's it gone? Well, if you are in those particular farms, you need to hit the finish button over here, that one there. And you need to go down to the bottom here, and you're going to find all these pools down here now. So you got the Wrap Bitcoin, 1, the 2, and you got the 2 Pepes, Pepe, and you got the Link and the Uni. So liquidity's still in there. People still got liquidity. You actually have to take that liquidity out. And of course, what that will do is you'll take out your LP tokens that you put in there. They will go back into your wallet. And so when you go back to your wallet, because on V1 you're not earning any fees, you would go back to liquidity potentially. And unless you're happy for the trading fees to be to be traded or whatever, but you will then, once you've taken them out of the farms, you'll see them and they'll be in your wallet, your LP tokens, and therefore the liquidity on PulseX will be able to see your tokens, and they'll show your liquidity back up here, and then you can take those out if you so choose. So because the farm's finished, you can take them out, and of course you could jump over to V2 after that and maybe put them in some liquidity pools over there, depending on what you're going to do and what pools are available on the assets. So I haven't checked any of that sort of stuff, but that's what you could do, and then add it over here. And if you add it over on V2, of course, you start earning the 0.22% fee. which is pretty good. And as I've been trying to show you the last couple of days, the pool returns. Hey, it's populated. Yay, first time in 3 days. It's actually populated on my screen. Isn't that crazy? I've had such trouble with that trying to show you guys. And of course, here's the AP returns down at the moment. You can see that Pulsechain Pepe and Wrap Pulse is doing really nice, 430% on the APR there based on current turnover, 24-hour turnover. So pretty neat there. You got Hex, Bridged and Hex. So someone was asking about Bridged and Hex. Here is Bridged and Hex liquidity pool. It's matched with Pulse. And where is that gone here? This one here with the dark blue matched with Pulse there, and it's earning 118%. So if you wanted to bridge in some EHEX over to Pulsechain and then match it up with some Pulse, obviously you got to take into account the relative price movements, but 118%. 118% there is the old return at the moment. So pretty interesting stuff. Obviously trade-offs there, but some pretty nice little yields going on with the V2 liquidity providing. So there we are, folks. So if you go to pools, keep refreshing. Who knows? That could be up well before Richard does some tweet on it. But this is 16 hours ago, so it's a good chance we might see one in the next 24 hours. We will see. It's always possible. So people refreshing at the moment. So that's kind of cool. So let me just jump back to Richard Hart here. Just having a look at some of other updates. No, that's kind of the main update today. He has posted stuff around the multi-chain bridge hack on Phantom. And of course, the price is getting annihilated on there. What else has he been talking about? That's pretty much it at the moment that I'm aware of. Let me just jump into the replies. I don't think he's done any particular replies that need to talk about. Yeah, he did a couple of things on coupons, how they work regarding game theory as well. So we might as well talk about a little bit about this 16 hours ago. Coupons and how they work. You offer free money in exchange for the chance that people will buy more in excess of the free money you gave them. Otherwise, you're just losing more money for no good reason. So banning that. So far, the PRC20s have provided wonderful free money to people who insult us. So it's definitely abandoning that position. And that's why those pools are gone. They have no provided any kind of mass awareness I can see that would cancel out millions of free PRC20 money sold. Obviously, we're trying to get that attraction of adoption. The net effect being whoever degent on the PRC20 copies of ERC20s, I'd never promote, probably push the price down on Pulse and PulseX and incentive to get dumped on by guys that just insult you. And of course, this was actually to be expected, but you got to do the experiment, and that's how it played out. So as one would expect, that's how it kind of played out there. Maybe the analysis is wrong. Maybe to hear some tools, the bridge, so you can see what tokens are actually bridging in. So that was kind of a to be expected with the airdrop, and so no surprises there. So anyways, we move on. 16 hours ago. Now, did it work out the way with everything? Nope. Hex, for instance, is worth more than on Pulsechain than Ethereum, and every single day, Hex users are saving thousands of dollars in gas fees, which was the initial driver for Pulsechain. And of course, any community could make the same choice and move their energy to this beautiful land of 200x lower fees on Pulsechain, and of course 17% faster blocks. Pulsechain is awesome. I think Pulsechain awesome. I think it's going to start blowing some minds in the couple of months ahead of us, folks. Really does look cool. Now, I think there's only really one thing in the marketplace generally that is of really concern, and that is the federal interest rates. Apart from that, everything is looking pretty good in the old crypto land, if you ask me. And of course, I think that's going to bode well. Now, we are expecting a delay in the real economy to be hit by those federal interest rates, and that will particularly affect the stock market, which is probably overheated. But I think crypto has a bit more resilience, and so that should be a bit of fun there. Hopefully, we don't have enough institutional overbearance to give us the same correlation, because we have decorrelated a little bit recently with the old Bitcoin and stock market, which are generally tended to correlate together. So fingers crossed on that part too. All right. We also have the M2 money supply that has been tapering off as well. And of course, I think that should be slightly increasing over time. But of course, we've got the federal funds rate mucking around with their own money printing. And so, yeah, that's kind of exacerbated things a bit there. So you're getting this bit of a snapback between the stock market rally and this decrease in M2 money to that's got to snap back at some stage. So we'll see what happens in that space too. I just don't think crypto is as vulnerable as that. So just a bit of macro food for thought there. And in any case, we have these wonderful Pulsechain booming that is just going to boom in the next couple of months. So maybe in Pulsechain community will really stand out compared to that macro backdrop. So cool things. Looking forward to the single-sided staking pools. So that's the big news. Crypto at the moment, I was talking about Bitcoin is at $30,235. That's down a 0.3% there. Still sitting over 30K, so that's good, but we still haven't. We've been up around that $30,500 mark, but we still haven't had 5-day closes above that mark. So we're still waiting for that. So we're still on a bit of a teetering here for the Bitcoin. But I would like to see us get some, at least 5-day closes and over 30,500, and then of course we can bolt away up to a mini pump, 40K maybe on the Bitcoin. So looking forward to that, and would love to see Bitcoin go to 31, 32, and that mark to sort of give us that confirmation off that 30,500 mark. So that's kind of where we are with BTC for a mini bull. Otherwise, we had a potential for actually going down if we don't, and of course back down to 20s. So we don't want that to happen. Ether at $1,862. That's down a 0.4%. And of course, that is where we are on the markets there. Solana's cooled down. Remember, Solana was having a good run. It's at $21.84. So it's pretty much capped out at that resistance around $22. And AVAX there has happened to have a good day in the office. Can't zoom in on that for some reason, but there is AVAX there. Yeah, so AVAX is up 6.7% there at $13.60. So they're having a little good time in the old AVAX community. All right, so that is the Bitcoin. Let's get to the Pulsechain, which is the talk of the town. Green candle day. And of course, we got the sacrifice price. We're 4% above the sacrifice price. Yeah, go Pulsechain. Is it going to be the light on the hill, standing on the hill, shining, while everything else is pretty mediocre? I think so. I think we're looking good for the next couple of months as we've sort of entering, maybe the super price discovery rather than the dip price discovery. We're looking at the pump price discovery. How about that? So we're up 13.4% on the old 24 hours. Very, very nice. PulseX, of course, is up 28%. So here we've seen our first close up here with obviously the single-sided staking pools there. The SSS, as we like to say, up 28%. So that ratio between Pulse and PulseX has closed down quite a bit there. We were sitting at about 3.2 PulseX to 1 Pulse. We're now down to 2.79 PulseX to 1 Pulse. So if you managed to make that ratio trade, congratulations to you. We did talk about it the other day on the live stream. So congratulations to you. Looking cool. We got more coming for PulseX, right? We got the big 3 DeFi projects. We got the Liquid Lines, the Power City, and the PH ecosystem rolling out in month 3, month 4. And we have the 4 big NFT marketplaces also rolling out probably month 3 or 4 as well. So pretty exciting for PulseX. That's a lot of volume, a lot of leveraging, a lot of price buying, and of course a lot of buy and burning. So it's going to be fun for that. So look forward to that. That trend is your friend. We've got the fundamentals backing that up. Now the burn is up at 234 billion. That's going up beautifully. Every billions a day are burning. So you can imagine month 3 and 4, this is going to really supercharge on the burn, subject to price level, of course. That is 1.12% of all the public supplies now burned. Man, this is going to be crazy. Like I said, are we going to hit 7%, 10% for the yearly burn, or are we going to go plus 10% under the right circumstances? It's going to be fun to see that. And of course, it'd be cool to see PulseX doing over 300 million a day would be pretty nice. But I really would, honestly, I'd really love to see PulseX getting up into the billion mark. Why not? There's nothing to hold us back. We just got to dominate, get out there and dominate, and we've got lots of tools to do that. So let's live big, and let's see if we can take over DeFi and get up into $1 billion 24-hour turnover on PulseX. Maybe not every day, but definitely getting up there more and more and more would be pretty cool. All right, we got incentive token at the moment. We've got that at 26%, and that has pumped as well, obviously, with the single-side staking pools there. We're up 64%, and of course, those other farms are disappearing. Incentive has rallied on that 64,000. We talked about this in depth yesterday, I think it was, or the day before. I think it was yesterday, though. I've dealt in the different scenarios about the incentive token. And hey, look, next day it played out. So pretty cool. There's at least 5 different main options you can do to pump the incentive price. And look, it's gone for gold there at the moment. Now, what's the total supply of PulseX? Incentive token? 4.9 million. So we're almost on the verge of having 5 million incentive tokens out in the market, and we've got 3.2 million of them in the liquidity pools. That brings us into Hex, which is actually the third best performer of the day, because your best performer so far is PulseX, then incentive token, and then Pulse. But Hex is looking very good indeed. Oh my goodness. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Yeah, it hit while we're doing live stream. Wow. Hex token pump up and to the right. Superman sound theme going on there. But up 21.5%. But guess what? Combined price of Hex has hit 3 cents. Woohoo! And you guys know I've been talking about 3 cents. It's about time we get into 3 cents. We've got the 3 cents. Very, very cool. And of course, guess what else is looking good though? Hex versus Pulse. 205 Pulse for 1 Hex. So Hex is still looking very strong versus Pulse. And of course, with the 21.5% increase versus a 13.8%, you're going to have that ratio in Hex's favor. But EHEX is finally broken out too. I've been talking about EHEX. I said, don't count out EHEX yet. And of course, I think it was an hour ago, it started to break out. We're going to look at that when we get to the chart. So that's kind of cool too. And yeah, looking pretty good over there. 3 cent EHEX, 3 Hex and Binex, I should say. And of course, Hex at the moment is 0087, almost on the breakout level for EHEX. And we are on the verge of that. We hit, I would say, 009. And, you know, EHEX could really break out to the upside. The other thing, of course, is that 1 PHEX is now worth 2.46 EHEX at the moment. So that's a pretty still strong ratio of PHEX to EHEX. But question mark over this. Watch the space on the old EHEX. It's going to be interesting to see where they can pull off a parity comeback. We will see. Don't count it out yet there. All right, so that's kind of cool for the overview. Let's have a quick look at the validators. With validators, I'm just looking at some of these comments in the chat over on the left there. We got 24,000, another milestone. Oh my goodness. I have not checked these numbers, by the way. I'm just doing this live. And here we are. We're hitting milestone after milestone after milestone. So we're back to a sacrifice price, over sacrifice price on Pulsechain. We've got the single side staking pools. Looks like some sort of experiment coming around that. We've got Hex hitting 3 cents. We've got the incentive token bouncing back up. Breaking that downtrend so far, and we've got the validators hitting 24,000, new all-time high if I remember rightly. That's pretty cool. So all-time, I think that is 24,034. Yeah, we take off our 4,039. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're up into the new territory here. 24,000. We're at 21.2% on the APR. Just double thinking about that at the moment on the record number. I think we may have been slightly higher than this. Just, yeah, we're pretty much around all-time high if we haven't already. 21.2% is the APR at the moment. So very handsome looking returns there on validating. And of course, the 769 billion now is staked for validators. So you add that with the 134 billion burn. And of course, we're doing really well. Over 5% is my guess on that. So looking very good. Let's have a look at the global globe. And that's your validators around the world, fully decentralized Pulsechain. I love it. All right. Let's jump over to the gas prices. And of course, our chain is simple, is easy to do stuff, easy to do business on. We're at 4 cents for a PulseX swap, 0.3 of a penny for Pulse coin transfer, and 0.8 of a penny for a PRC20 transfer. Currently, at the moment, we're 178 times cheaper than Ethereum, 145 times cheaper than Bitcoin. So easy to do business on the old Pulsechain. And we have a massive ecosystem that's going to roll out over the year ahead. I actually think it's getting even longer, the development pipeline, because we've got so much more stuff that's going to come on a Pulsechain. But certainly the first 6 months are going to be where we get a lot of the top TVL projects launching, and then they're just going to get priced up from there. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, month 3 and 4 in particular, that's going to be pretty spectacular. All right, let's jump over from there into the charts. There is your breakout on the hourly. So we got that update from Richard about 16 hours ago. So let's have a look at the candle there. And this is on the hourly there. So that was about 18 hours ago. So we're sort of in this zone when we got the news. So we already had a good candle already, and up and away we've gone at the moment on the Pulsechain. And of course, Pulse there is up at 001044. So about 4% above the sacrifice price, which is pretty cool. Let's go to the daily on the old Pulse. And of course, we've got, more importantly, our long-term trend here. We've actually broken to the upside here, bounced off this as well. So, the longer this candle goes, we're about to get into some interesting territory for Pulsechain. As you guys know, we want to get over 1,200. See these caps here? This is around 1133. So if we can get to like 1200, sort of in this zone up here, that's really, we've got new formations happening there. We're broken to the upside, right? We've got higher lows, and then of course we get a nice higher high. That's looking very good at the moment, but we've still got this uptrend with the lower lows looking pretty good. So exciting times. Let's do it. And of course, let's leave this stuff behind as well. All right. That is the old Pulse. Let's have PulseX. Obviously, PulseX looking pretty cool on the hourly as well. And you can see that that is up 29% in the last 19 hours. So that was already moving a little bit here in the first couple of hours, but then got a real big takeoff there with the single side staking pool. You can see the big green candle formed there as well, 16 hours ago or so. Looking very, very cool. Now, your friend Somi, who's out of jail, out of Twitter jail there for being a AI Twitter bot or something like that. He is out, and he goes, Justin, BitBoy adds Pulsechain to portfolio. Pulse shouted out in their latest portfolio update video on channel. BitBoy is the most popular crypto YouTuber with over 1.4 million subs. Will Hex and PulseX follow later? And of course, that there was from BitBoy there as well. So looking good. The old BitBoy. Very, very cool. 1.45 million subs on the old BitBoy. Pretty cool. Then you got a PLS shout out there. Look at that balance there as well. Pretty small at the moment, but I'm sure that's going to increase. They're going to want to increase their balance. I'm telling you that. But at the moment, they've got 35 million put into the holdings. But I think it's time for them to get some serious cash in the old Pulsechain. What are they thinking? What are they thinking? This should be 100 times bigger than this at least. So they may have to do some work there with their old Pulsechain portfolio. They're going to miss the boat if they're going to only have $3,300 in there. They want to get a bit more serious if they want to make some ginormous money. Obviously, for the small retail player, that's a good amount. But if you're doing a big fund, you probably want to be thinking about 100 times that amount. Get some chops in there, folks, on BitBoy. But it's good, positive news to have, the biggest YouTubers out there in the space on crypto talking about Pulsechain, and of course Hex and PulseX as well. It will be cool. So nice news there from via Somi, your friend Somi, who is free from jail, and of course one of the bigger influencers in the Pulsechain Hex community on the old Twitter space and on YouTube too. So let's jump over to that. So that's kind of good news. PulseX looking there, and of course we're up at 37, well below sacrifice price. So let's go to the daily on PulseX, and of course hopefully I can pull this down. Where's my there it is. Let's pull that down. Let's get rid of the right hand side, and of course we have a different formation, of course, on the old PulseX. It had been moving sideways, right? And moving sideways, and of course the ratio to PulseX was moving in Pulse's favor, and of course it went over 3. Was it 3? Yeah, 3. Went over 3.2 or something like 3.3 on the old ratio PulseX to Pulse. Back down now though with this breakout. But look, there's still a long way to go for PulseX to get this premium sitting there. It's waiting there for people to get. Remember this? We've been covering this every day. It was about 250%. It's now 166% to get back to sacrifice price at the minimum. At the minimum, just getting back to sacrifice at the minimum. And of course, I said, it's just sitting there waiting for people. It's kind of one of the easiest trades I thought out there was the old PulseX. And you just sit there and wait. And that the chances are it's going to go back to the sacrifice at the very minimum that was sitting there. So it's closed up so far. So looking pretty good. And let's have a look at the pump today. Pump today, of course, 31% today. So easy money in crypto there. And that was just sitting there way below the sacrifice price. That's the medium sacrifice price for the retail book. So very, very cool. We got pretty close down towards the whale price in the air as well. Not quite down to the bottom where the bottom whale is like Overwatch. It's sort of down in this range, but pretty good in there at the moment. So kind of cool on the old PulseX. Thinking about that, not only do we have good news around BitBoy, including it in their portfolio, although I think they need 100x their investment, not financial advice, of course. We also have Beetroot Privacy Hub has also upgraded their platform with their privacy service for Pulsechain. Beetroot are proud to announce that Pulse and Bitcoin are now available on the Beetroot Privacy Bridge. Now, we love matching those tokens together. We love matching Pulse with ETH and BTC. Why? Because we're going to be that big. That's our vision. We want to be that big and that influential in crypto. We want to take over DeFi. And of course, these are some really nice, cool visions that we want to achieve. So cool on that one. And now it's on the Beetroot privacy bridge. So very cool. The UI is work in progress and still being updated. Feel free to get your Pulse and Bitcoin over to a clean address. So if you want to do some privacy stuff, I know everybody always has some moment where they want to transfer some over to another address. Maybe they want to help somebody else, but they don't want to dox themselves. This is the sort of thing you can do with that. The max PLS amount is 100 million Pulse at the moment. So just remember that. That is on that privacy bridge there as well. So I'm just going to post the link to that. Make sure you do your own financial due diligence, but that's been up and around for a while, even retweeted by Richard Hart back in the day. All right, so that is Beetroot on that one. So I'll just post the link to that in the chat. Looking good on there. Nice. Very, very cool. Hey, we got Archipelago just gifted 5 Hex Token memberships, so pick those up while you can. They are free. We got Brendan picked up one. Nice one. John Gibbons picked up one. Hexpedition, Mecca 360, and Big Bully. Congratulations. And Rango as well. Wow, I thought it was only 5 of those. Oh, that was 5. That was 5. Not, I said Mecca, but Mecca is just retweeting. But congratulations to all 5 of you, and a big special thanks to Archipelago for those 5 Hex Token membership gifts. Very, very nice indeed. Now let me just play around with this chat here. I can do fan funding at the top, and then that posts them up. Oh, there we are. Yes, Archipelago member for 3 months. Richard Art Club, which is the top membership for this channel. And, of course, the best YouTube channel there is. Love that comment. Thank you very much. And, of course, Archipelago gifted 5 Hex Token memberships. Very, very cool. I don't know if you guys can see that on your screen. Let me know if you can see that when I change it from live chat to fan funding. But that is changed around. So very, very cool on that. I'm going to go back to live chat just so I can see the chats as they come through. All right. Now, when you get a membership, you get to use the cool emojis in the chat. So feel free to do that as well. Oh man, we got Lies Beneath in the house as well. Member for 14 months. Hexkin class, and of course, best of the best. Hey, thanks for that, Lies Beneath. And thank you so much for your tireless efforts in the chat there as well. Lies Beneath always brings the ultimate Richard Hart Gold crypto strategy into our chat, and we really do appreciate that. So big thanks, Lies Beneath as well. 14-month membership. Woohoo! That's right up at the top end. You're up at the top end with good old SKB in there. And of course, Brian and a couple others. There's about 5 or 6 of them. Which have been long-term members, so or the longest-term members, I should say. So pretty good news there on the old Beetroot. Very important that we have privacy, that people can do transfers to new accounts and things like that. Very cool indeed. So thank you for Beetroot Privacy Hub for that. That leads us into the incentive token, and of course, wow! It's got that excited with the single-sided staking, and of course, less pools in the farms, less farms. So for the PRCs, that means more incentive tokens going around to the existing farm holders, so they win twice, right? You win twice there. Less other farms in the old pool. So let me say what I'm saying here. The finished pools, of course, no longer getting incentive token, and which means that live pools are getting the incentive emissions based on their emission profiles here with the multipliers. And remember, if you go into the farms themselves, click details, you can see the farm multiplier in there. So that's 10x there, and of course 10x. It's 10 incentive per second there on the old profile. So pretty cool on that, and also obviously that's bullish. And then the incentive ratio goes up. So the incentive ratio has gone from, it was declining, it was down near 57,000, 58,000. It's now back up at 64,000. The other thing cool about this too is that there is a demand side strategy where the larger holders like whales could accumulate incentive token, knowing there's only going to be so much out in the year. And if they did do that with a DCA approach, they could provide support for the incentive ratio as well. So interesting from the demand side. When you've got supply and demand moving together in their favor, that can work out to be a very good strategy for them. Those who are big enough to accumulate those incentive tokens. So looking good, and also lifts the APR here in the old farms. So it's a win-win for all of them as well. You can see the best farms at the moment, DAI, Rat Pulse, under 37%, which means if you had $1,000 and you're on a daily basis, you're earning about 0.4% a day. So $1,000 will get you $3.76 a day on that at the moment. That's just been lifted up. So that's kind of cool. What else is pretty good? Oh, USDC is actually up 139%. So it's even a little bit higher, 141% on the USD Tether. But of course, DAI there's got the, it's got the best one. These are all bridged in, by the way, bridged in from Ethereum versions there. But the incentive pool's still looking very good, 137, 128%, 122%. So farming's looking pretty good as well. But single side staking, take away the risk. People are looking forward to that. The market has rallied. That brings us on into PHEX, or Hex on Pulsechain. Look at this beautiful thing. Magnifico, beautiful. It's looking good here in the Italia, down at the bottom of New Zealand. I don't know. Anyway, so we got 2.149 cents. We had our breakout. You guys know we had the short-term breakout here on Pulsechain, but also long-term breakout for Hex generally. We wanted that 1.5 cents mark, and we have breached that. And up and away. So that we wanted this mark here to get broken out. Remember, we were getting this resistances in here. We also had this downward channel here on Pulsechain, and away we have gone. Very, very cool. We got the high stakes coming out as well. And of course, the trailer coming out in about a day and a half, 2 days or something like that. So that's expected. And of course, there are rumors on the street that we could have news about the actual film documentary out in a couple of weeks. So we'll see where those rumors come to fruition. Definitely it looks possible. Now we've got the official trailer coming out in a day or two. So looking forward to that. And hey, look, if they've got some big streamers for that, if they've managed to get Disney or Netflix or a couple of them, like the more the merrier, if we can get millions, maybe tens of millions, maybe even potentially hundreds of millions, depending on how many people are watching those streaming services, then definitely content about crypto is pretty popular. There hasn't been a good documentary out about crypto. The only ones I remember watching that were the old Bitcoin ones, and I haven't really seen anything much since then. I think Coinbase did some sort of promotional thing, but apart from that, really is wide open for a big full documentary on crypto. And of course, people love that stuff, right? It's a bit like Wolf of Wall Street or anything like that. People love that stuff, The Big Short. So we'll fill a gap there. So it's going to be cool. And it's high drama. People like the high drama. So it looks like it might be cool. All right, so looking forward to that. At the moment, Hex at 2.161. And, of course, it's going to be fun to see where that is. But as you guys know, the price has actually just hit 3 cents combined with EHEX. And this is what I want to talk about, right? So EHEX here, look at this. Woohoo! We're on the verge of breakout here on the old EHEX. We are pushing through it right now as we speak live. This is the hourly chart here from EHEX here on Ethereum. So it's Hex on Ethereum, the original Hex, the Genesis Hex. And of course, here we are, the Genesis Hex, the one from the 2nd of December 2019. This is the one ticking over there, 008641. Has got smaller, thinner liquidity, so it has the chance to really move up there if someone breaks it out, but also the parity. So let's get back to the daily chart here. And let me just, actually, I've got this on a different chart. So it's on the Pulsechain version, the bridged-in version, not this one. But that is the old Hex there, looking pretty good. And we're going to watch that out. Let me pull up the other chart, though. I want to pull that up on the old bridged-in Hex. It's the same product, but it's just been bridged into Pulsechain. Liquidity pool is a bit different, of course. Let me just go to Pulsechain. And I'm not sure which one I have to bring in here, but Hex, I think it might be this one. Let's have a look. Did I put it on this chart? Maybe I didn't. Doesn't look like I did it? Oh, did I do this ratio here? I think I did have to click the ratio. Let me do that. Yeah, there we are. We found it. Yes. All right. So here is the parity difference. So no real change yet, the breakout, but definitely Hex price breaking up to the upside, which is cool in absolute terms. Hex has a little bit of work to do to try and close the parity gap. We have 145% on the ratio, so a bit of work to do there. But we're watching this question mark over the next two. If Hex can keep up its momentum, see where we'll get a relative breakout to the upside there in terms of the parity ratio. At the moment, it's still sitting at 0.4 there at the moment. So still a bit of work to do there. And we'll pull that in as well. That means at the moment, it's one PHEX will get you 2.5 EHEX at the moment, or 0.4 there as well. So pretty cool. All right, that leads us on into top PRC20s. ERC20s, and of course we had the pools removed. So the pools that were removed here on the finished farms, those were the ones incentivizing Pepe and Wrap Bitcoin, Link and stuff like that. But they were different pools, right? They're all experimental, different type of pools. And of course, these ones here kind of ended up the ones being made sense. The fact that you only want to bridge in stuff, you don't want to incentivize stuff that's just going to be sold down by people that are haters of Richard or something like that. Which typically is the case, right? So there was a couple of those comments, and these are just typical in crypto. You're always going to get some people like that, but of course, it does widen the adoption. It does widen the awareness. So fun times ahead. All right, so let me just jump over to the link here. So at the moment, we've got Wise token. I've added Wise token because Wise is actually, I didn't have any on the list. I can't believe I didn't. but of course this was a Hex clone. But it did the thing. What they did differently is that they added a lot of liquidity. So they got huge liquidity on Ethereum, one of I think the biggest liquidity pair outside stables. But of course, this was underplayed. So people haven't really been talking about this, but this is actually the best performer on my list today. And I think there's a bit of a hidden gem, relatively speaking. We're going to watch that. So I've got a little liquidity at the moment, 35K, but you can pick up a lot of the volume that's on Ethereum, relatively speaking, on there at the moment. So this is going to be one to watch. Even if you hate the things, you still can make money out of them, right? So this is going to be interesting to see that. On that one, Immutable X also is up 8%, so it's kind of the better performer as well. We got ApeCoin there up 6%. Those are kind of the best ones. X Infinity up 3% there, and Link still doing okay even after the farm. The Link farm, that was the ETH Link farm though, has pulled back down. So that's pretty much it. Looking at the other ones, of course, Wrap Bitcoin there down at $53. So obviously with the pull gone, that's down 35% at the moment. Link there as well is down 25%. Aave as well. Now these will probably have come back. Now SHIB is down 25% as well. But I definitely think that these ones here will have some sort of recovery later on. Definitely ones to watch out for, as well as Pepe down 13% as well. So Pepe would be one to watch too. So we're not going to talk about them today, but definitely things to watch for as the top PRC20s as we move forward in time, regardless of there being farms, particularly the meme coins, the ones that don't need any functionality or project team support. All right, that leads us into the meme coins. We've got Fluffy Slippers, so the old Somi one. I think there's a Somi one that has only got small retail. It's only retail, 6,000 liquidity. It's hardly nothing. It's up 51%. But let's move on into the ones that really matter, and that is the Pulse Dodge, and Paul Pleb. We have the 9-inch exchange. They're waiting for the final audits. And then, of course, we're going to have a stealth launch. I really do think that it's going to be really huge. And they're going to be focusing on the meme coin sector of Pulsechain. So I think that's going to be pretty big. I think they had over $12 million or so sacrificed. It might have been higher than that. Interesting stuff. Now, it will be interesting to see what the only Achilles heel to 9-inch is the big referral program. And of course, because that could generally draw down the 9-inch token. But the 9-inch token is going to have a pretty big buy and burn too. I think it's 0.06%, and I think that's 0.01% for the BBC token on the trade volume. So that's going to be pretty interesting to see that. But the pools are going to be the exciting part. Where the pools go, they're going to get the BBC incentive token. That's going to be fun to see. And of course, there are 4 tokens related to this team. There's the Paul Pleb, there's the Pulse Dodge, which Pulse Dodge coin. So not the other one, the ASIC one, not the ASIC one, but the Pulse Dodge coin, the original one with the old doggy memes. So there's these 2. They're both meme coins, essentially 2 different founders for those. And then of course we got they have combined with a couple other devs, I think based in the UK, maybe Europe. And of course they are going to have the 9-inch token and the BBC incentive token for the pool. So it's going to be 4 of them. But we know that PLD and Paul Pleb will likely get big support there. They've already said that they're going to get support. So these 2 meme coins could really rally. So not financial advice, but these ones, watch, when they come to launch, these things could turn around pretty quickly here as well. And in particular, PLD, there's not a big supply. There's only 300 wallet holders on the Pulsechain side. This is going to be on each side and Pulsechain side with the launch. So it's going to be fun to see that. I definitely think Pulse Dodge, they're looking pretty easy on that one. So it's going to be fun to see. And then we've got Paul Pleb as well. So at the moment, Pulse Dodge there is Pulse Dodge coin there is up at 14.5. Let's go to the daily here on this one. You can see it's already had a run up due to the 9-inch sacrifice phase, and then of course just cooled off a bit here. We had a bit of a whale there sell out just earlier today. That's why we got this big wick down to 9/10 of a penny, almost just under a cent. But that got bought back right out there, and now we're back up at 14.42. So some strength there. And like I say, there's not many holders on the Pulsechain, maybe 300 or so. You can actually just see it on the PLD and go have a look at that. 311 owners. So it's up a little bit, a few owners from yesterday. I think we're at 303, 305. So it's got a few more there today. But there's not many tokens, 574 million. And of course, if you go to the holders, you can see there's not actually too many whales either. So I think this, if it gets a pull support with the BBC with high yield, this is what some of the founders there, I think was a Hexy bastard, excuse my French, has been talking about. So it's going to be fun to see that. Definitely, if you're looking for opportunities, definitely I think this is kind of almost like a certainty, but of course nothing is certain in crypto or life. But yeah, it's pretty close. Here we got the old Paul Pleb, had the old rally too. Got topped out there at quadruple 0746. Got back down the same. Well, looks like they sold a couple hours ago. That gave us this wick. We've got a new nice gold green candle there, and that's actually a pretty good entry there for 000131. Now, I do think Paul Pleb's got more potential downside, relatively speaking, given the rally versus PLD or Pulse Dodge. But definitely, I can't see much happening here with these two pools coming up. These will both be sought after tokens for those pools. If you don't already own them, then you're going to have to buy them, right? And of course, Pulse Dodge even more to the upside. I'm not sure. Let's check how many Paul Pleb owners there are at the moment. Let's see here as well. So you are punting on the pools. 1,375 addresses on the Pulsechain side. Obviously, there are addresses on the Pulse on the Ethereum side, but remember, a lot of people sacrifice Paul Pleb and Pulse Dodge for the sacrifice, right? I think something like 12% at least of one of these tokens was, I think it was Paul Pleb or something, was at least sacrificed, something like that for that as well. So that's now held by the team. So some interesting stuff there. All right, cool. So there's some potential opportunities there with 9-inch exchange coming out. That's the next big medium to up, medium to above medium project coming to Pulsechain. That's the next big one before we get to the big top tier utilities expected in March or April. But hey, 9-inch may surprise to the upside in terms of the TVL. We'll be looking at that. They're looking at big numbers. They want to get big numbers. So we're looking at 30 million at the moment for PHUX, right? PHUX is up at 30 million. We looked at that yesterday. This could be up really high as well. Pretty interesting. All right, so that's kind of the highlights there. Let's jump over to the final category, which is Pulsechain projects. These are all the native Pulsechain projects. At the moment, Daytona Finance is the one that's rocketed today, up 25%. I had quite a few down days. Let's have a little look at that pool. And we can see that you can see it had the run up, came back down, had a super run up. Of course, absolutely the talk of the town at the time, came right back down again and at 8.4 cents, and now it's starting to climb back up there at 14.5 cents at the moment. So nice little move there. Definitely hit some RSI numbers. Now they're already doing single-sided staking pool on Daytona, right? So want to stake your Pulse coin single-sided stake instead of LP providing. We all know LP can be risky. Come check out single-sided staking Daytona.finance. Earn yield on your favorite meme coins, meme tokens, a better APY than PulseX. No sacrifices, no pre-sales, no jokes. And of course, they've been around there as well. They have got a Pulse Police review, so you can check out the Pulse Police review on Telegram. You can find the links to Pulse Police for their security reviews in the Pulsechain chat group. We've got links there for Pulse Police, and you can find that in our Discord. So if you want to go check that first before getting involved, but that's definitely something you can check out. So I'll post the link there as well. Always do your due diligence around security first, and you can check that out if you want to participate, because they have protocols you will be putting some of your assets if you do decide to chase some of that single-sided pools there. But in any case, it's coming to PulseX. We'll see what PulseX brings. We'll be looking for that ourselves. So there we are. We're nothing there at the moment. All right, so that is the best performer at the moment. Last 24 hours. We've got PHUX is doing pretty well also. As I said, PHUX there has been, this is a small pool. It's the wrong pool, so no wonder it's up there quite a bit there. Let me jump through. I want to look at some of these bigger pools. We got Texan up 16%, Weight Token from Coast up 16%, Beetroot up 15%, which we talked about with the privacy upgrade there. We got Pulse Reflections up 14%, so everything looking pretty good, obviously, with Pulsechain Pump. Everything pretty much in the green there, most of it. The only one that's not in there is really Pulse Kittens struggling a little bit there with some negative 7% there at the moment. We also got this Rat Bitcoin P-Rate one as well. So P-Rate is one of the big liquidity pools. So let's have a look at our Pulsechain projects by liquidity instead of by price performance. We can see that Pulse Rate there is at 380K, but it's actually, they've got lots of pools. So they're actually probably closer to $1 million in there. Tetra, there's 297K. Tony is around about 550,000, so over $500,000. Beecher at 262,000. And that's the next one down from that is Fiat, which is a fork of Aave, but they haven't yet launched their Aave fork on Pulsechain yet, only on Ethereum. And of course, that's part of the PH ecosystem as we talk about. They're also going to have Famous, and obviously they've got PHUX out already at the moment. So but the Fiat fork of Aave is not out yet. So those two protocols, maybe month 3 is where we might expect those. Although Fiat's probably going to wait for the fetch oracles, although I don't know. I presume that's what they're going to be using there. The fetch oracles there from Liquid Lines. So we'll see. I would suspect that all those liquidity forks would, or anything like Aave forks would be using, fetch oracle or something. We'll see, though. I'm not sure what their mechanics are there. All right. So that is the highlights there for that. That leads us into the Hex Daily Stats, which is what day? Day 314, hot off the press, 8th of July. We've got a 10% prompt on the old eHex, 0.0866 cents. We've got the Hex payout per T-share is at 6.64 Hex per T-share. We've got the share rate up 13.4 again today. So yesterday we had an increase, 2 increases. We're at 28,147. Remember, our next big jump is expected at the end of July, beginning of August, which could probably be about 400 Hex per day. So expect that. Earlier pays better, folks. If you're looking at the ENT shares in that time frame, you've got about 3 weeks to go until the share rate's going to jump pretty significantly there as well. Now you can find that on the Hex info site by Crispy Man if you want to see the details to that. Average mining length is 7.04 years. We've got the APY rate there at 39.34% on Ethereum. Now the pools there. Look at the Hex pool down to 186 million. Woohoo! And the US dollars is up from 226 to 247, and ETH pool there 175. Some more ETH looking good, heading in the right direction. Price up. That's what we like to see. T-shares up 496, sitting at 9,902,000 or 3,000 there on the old ETH chain. Looking at the stake percentage of coins, 9.4% of all Hex is staked on Ethereum. We got a pretty good day in penalties today, 2.1 million Hex in penalties. And then, of course, let's have a look at the numbers. The current holders, liquid holders, down 47. The trend is your friend. So Pulsechain definitely dominating in terms of the liquid holders there, down 47. We're at 329,000. That may turn around if we get a pump on the old eHex there. But we're down 25 on the miners at 120,357. And holders there up 89 to 575,000. So that's day 1,314 on the eHex side. And let's have a look at the Pulsechain side. And of course, this is day 57. Let me just double check. Yeah, day 57. Yeah, day 57. And so, yeah, we've got the 8th of July, 2.131 cents, up 21%. Yeah, boy. So Hex on Pulsechain pumping. Look at that. 11.4, 10.7, 21.1%. We like that. Let's get more of that going for sure. We got the payout per T-share on the Pulsechain is 6.55 Hex per T-share. The dot day and the share rate, we had an increase on the ETH chain, but no increase on the share rate, and we had 28,125. The average mine length has dropped away to 7.01, so it's actually now shorter than the ETH side, and we've got 38.599% on the APY. Let's jump over to the ownership. Oh, massive jump in T-shares on the Pulsechain, and 8,872. We're up at 9,930,000. So what's that about? 28,000 more T-shares on the Pulsechain side there. So interesting difference. Looking at the shares, we've got 9.48% of Hex is locked on Pulsechain. We've had maybe about 40% of the amount of penalties on there, 744,000. And let's have a look at the growth. Yeah, up 11 liquid holders there, the 330,645. But more importantly, the mining numbers were up 32 to 122,546, which is about around about 2,500 more miners on the old Pulsechain side. But that is also, we've got a lot more the retail adoption on there. Obviously, it's super cheap to operate on there, particularly with the S-load function and the price of Pulse. So very, very cool. Change in total holders up 104. I thought I was going to sneeze there for a second. Up 104 to 570,823. So that was day 57 on the old Pulsechain. Looking pretty good. Hex on 2 chains, hex.com, folks. Check it out in the video description. You can buy it on ETH chain. You can buy it on Pulsechain. Very, very, very cool. We're on day 1,315 on ETH now, and we're on day 58 on the old Pulsechain. And already ticking away there with the numbers. That brings us back up. Let's go check Richard Hart and see if he's got any more updates. We always could be in luck there at this time of day, but that's pretty much it. So we'll be looking out for these pools, folks. These single-sided staking pools. We'll be looking out there. Keep refreshing your browser for the next couple of days. I don't know how long it's going to take, but definitely exciting. Once Richard does talk about it, you never know. And action has been taken with those farms gone. Fun times ahead. Right, chat, should we leave it on? Let's leave it on the old PHEX there. That is PHEX there, looking good. 2.157 cents. PulseX there, looking good. 3,813. And, of course, Pulse there at 1051. Looking good across the board. And incentive token there. Look at that. Broke out to the upside while we're on live stream. It's on the hourly chart there. 65,135. Looking pretty good. But EHEX there, maybe that might make the breakout too. And close some of that parity gap with the old PHEX here. This old gap, we'll be watching that for sure. Good times. Green Candle Day. Green Candle Day. Hope you guys are enjoying it. Has been a lot of fun talking about. We're up to an hour and 1 minute on the live. We're probably going to get through these chats here first, and then we're going to wrap up for the day. But man, pretty cool. Looking like we're going to have a fun time. Can't wait for the big top tier utilities. Honestly, I cannot wait for the top tier utilities to launch. It's going to be so much fun, honestly. Having leverage come into the market where people have sites that they have pretty good confidence and trust in, and then can not even have to sell your asset, right? You don't have to sell your asset. Maybe do 1,000% collateral, and then, of course, you will be able to go and buy as well. So no tax issue there. And, of course, you can go and buy your favorite assets. It's pretty cool. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right. Let me just jump up to the top here in the comments, find out where I was at. Let me just jump through here. Jump way back up the top here, actually. Who was the last comment I had? I think we got up to Kryptonite there. Kryptonite says 2 Australian banks will no longer dispense cash. If you want cash, you'll have to make an appointment. My God, yeah. Hey, look, cash should be a human right, honestly. If you can't pay for things with cash, you're stuck in a system. I mean, it really is an issue. Now, I don't, there are fundamental human rights, and there are rights you can assign to people. I definitely think that it's something that should be assigned because, take away cash, you're stuck in the system. There's no way getting out. You got bartering, but I mean, it's not, even that will be challenging. But yeah, definitely food for thought there. Lance says, I'm about to hit the like button. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Sandy Beach says, I played around with eFiat and PHEX today. Nice one there, Sandy. Let us know how your experience goes with that too, by the way. We are in the US. They still have our tyranny. It's called taxes. Stop consenting to the extortionists. Pro tip there. Yeah. Hey, what you generally want is you want a smaller government and a smaller taxes there. Generally is what you want to try and get to. At least smaller government would be one thing. Genuine says, g'day all. Good to say Genuine. One of our awesome moderators in the house. Let me just through some of those. Sandy Beach says, I'm hoping maybe we earn the incentive token for the SSS. That would be great. I think that's probably going to be the most likely, but we will see. We'll see what he does there, Sandy. All the DGN farms, lols. Yeah. Matt says, I just made a poor man's coffee, black, no sugar. Nice one. I missed it in the single-side staking coming. Or is it a descent stream? No, it looks like it's coming there. Experimental, it's coming. What else? We got the jump through some of those comments. Astrid says, just to let you know, Superman, your links in the description are still for testnet. Are they? I thought I'd update those. I'll check those afterwards. Hopefully I'm not updating with the old ones. That'd be bad. Let me check out those today. I might have to go back and redo all those links. And win-win. Yeah, I haven't talked about win-win for a couple of days. Definitely interesting looking staking one. That the closest category to that is the old BNB pot one. So they're kind of in that sort of scenario, kind of a hybrid there. The old staking rewards. They get big rewards in there, Sandy, like $1 million rewards in some of those prizes. If they can get up to that will attract a lot of attention. So we'll see where they head with that. Might get a lot of attention. Bob Flish King in the house. Good to see you. Good morning from Australia. Sandy Beach says, I like Somi. I've been watching his YouTube videos lately, says Sandy Beach. Bitcoin Chris, how's it going? Good to see you, Bitcoin Chris. Very good. Hit the likes. Great information every day on the Hex Token channel. Yeah, we're pretty much documenting the Pulsechain growth on the ecosystem. So if you like that, then you're in the right place. I love to see the PLSX ratio to slide back down to 2.3. I think it probably will head back down that way a couple ago. We've got morning Crypto Class in the house. Morning, good to see you, Crypto Class. Now, Crypto Class has been doing some very good interviews and collabs lately. So big shout out to Crypto Class. If you're not following Crypto Class, give Crypto Class a follow. Another influencer in the space. Now, we got StakeX as well. Man, glad I came in yesterday and told everyone to buy. But let's face it, there isn't a bad time to buy Hex. That is true. That is true. Well, there is, I guess it depends on when you're buying at the top. I guess that is the case. Somi is not AI, in my opinion. His accent is in a western suburbs of Sydney. He has a very slight accent, maybe a hint of Lebanese from his parents, I'd guess. Yeah, that's probably not a bad summary there. DCA for the win, says Sandy Beach, 100%. Let's jump through some of those comments. How far behind am I? Oh, yeah, I'm about 20 minutes behind, so I better hurry up. What else do we go through some of those? Oh, I can jump through all those comments. That's pretty cool. We've got Archie in the house. Woohoo! Good to see Archie. You hope that High Stakes documentary is on Netflix. Yeah, they're definitely on the big streamers. It'd be pretty cool. What does the memberships include? Just check them out. If you hit the join button, they've got all the descriptions in there. You can check those out as well. You get cool emojis in the chat. It's probably the main thing as well. I never lost faith in the Hex, is Christian. Yeah, I'm certainly not counting it out at all in terms of not in terms of the absoluteness, but in terms of the relativity. I still think 6 months is a better time frame because we are in price discovery phase. That's the tricky part. So because we're only on day 58 now, we're still in the early price discovery phase. So 6 months is probably a better time frame for that comparison between PX and EX. So I'd be cautious about people kind of concluding comments on those. All right, I have been buying more EX than PX. Is Pulse Bezos better price for now? Yeah. Hey, look, I don't normally talk about my portfolio, but I've been picking up some EX as well. So that's not why I'm talking about it being parity, but I just think that there's a bit of opportunity there. Crypto Compassion as well in the house. Good to see Crypto Compassion. Kyle Myers as well. Anyone buying EX will be dumped on eventually, says Kyle. That's Kyle's position there. What else we got going there? DB Cooper. Hello. Good to see DB Cooper. Nice to see you. And Crypto Compassion, of course, did a lovely video on the 4th of July. We played that a couple of times on this channel. It was a very nice video. You should do a lot more of that stuff there, Crypto Compassion. I think that's really good content that you're providing there. People will like that sort of stuff too. I want to do it on this channel. I've just got to get my acting together there. Certainly Brian's helped out with a gimbal. I just got to get the right camera. Superman, what a great day it is for all of us. Absolutely, Steve. It is a pleasure. See Right Santa Barbara in the house. Kyle Myers, no, I don't think that would happen. If EX would die out, it would take a lot of trust from PX. People don't understand how bad that would be. Would you do a 15-year stake on PX if EX dies out? Yeah. Also, we did this a couple of days ago. We talked about the roadmap ahead. We talked about Cancun upgrade on Ethereum. We also talked about the Uniswap upgrade. If you guys remember, we talked all that stuff coming up in the next year. And, of course, that potentially could give Ethereum a upgrade to the pipe, make the pipe bigger, and therefore more stuff through it, and therefore the fees are lower. So yeah, I wouldn't count that out yet. And the ETH team has been performing pretty well on the upgrades. We've seen that with the ETH withdrawals for validators. So yeah, they've certainly upped their game on that. So yeah, I wouldn't be, people talking about these upgrades far out in the future because of the delays they had back in the old days. I don't know if that's going to be the case with the proto-dank sharding coming up and then full dank sharding. So yeah, I'd be, not want to be too critical about the S-load because we obviously play the S-load function. So when it Hex end stakes, it has to run through all the reward days. Now we have Hex as an ownership pool with the T-shares. We have rewards. You're getting those every single day. We cover them here on the channel. Well, the S-load function has to go through, and it's been priced up like 8 times on the old ETH chain, made it more expensive. It has to go through every day. So the longer your stake reward is, the more your fees are going to be, right? So, but if they increase the pipe with this proto-dank sharding, then that should arguably pull down the fees. And I think the estimate was at 8 times. So we'll see. We'll see what happens in that space. I just think that the ETH team seems to be performing a bit better. And, of course, we can upgrade those to Pulsechain, right? All right. What else we got going? Leaving. Wait, I need DB Cooper. You funny guy. All right. So what else there? We're going to jump through some of these comments. Katie's in the house is one of our 2 communities. Thanks. Super. Take care, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. You too. Brennan says skyrockets in sight. Woohoo! Afternoon delights. That is true, Brennan. I'm with you on that one. Brennan is one of our TA specialists and moderators. Beaker says, no matter what the network I connect to, it shows ended and unstaked. I think you guys are having a conversation there. Crypto Clay says, thank you. I guess you guys are talking in the chat there as well. I like win-win. You don't lose your principal. No, well, you forego some of your you don't use your principal. You forego. Is it something like 50% of your interest to the prize pools? I think it's something in that ballpark. Maybe not be quite that high, but that's how it works. Is with the interest you're forgoing some of that for the chance to win big prizes. So everybody sort of puts it all in a pot, and you have a chance to win that. That's the way I understand win-win going. Which I think if they get those prize pools up, and the big pots could be pretty profitable. Plus, they're going to be multiple tokens as well. So you can have something, maybe a basket of really good tokens. So it may very well do very well, that type of concept. We'll see. That leads us into the price at the moment. We've got 2.15 cents. Let's wrap it up. We've got one more refresh of Richard Hart, see if he's got anything for us before we leave. No, nothing there. We got Pulse at the moment at 0.0001056, so it's now close to 6% above the sacrifice price. We got PulseX there at 0.03872, so 3,872. That's on the move as well, and of course it's up since yesterday, up pretty nicely, up 33%. So we'll take that. Still a bit of go, of course, to get back to the sacrifice price. That is another 158% sitting there waiting. You've got patience, and not financial advice, of course. And then, of course, we've got the incentive token. Powering up there, 65,616 pulse per 1 cent token moment. So really nice little move there on from them. And of course, that is up 13%. Finally, I think really the talk over the last couple of days has been Hex. Hex has been amazing. And look at that. Look at that price there off the bottom. Let's go off the bottom here on the daily. And we're up 112% in 24 days. We'll take that. But of course, most of it has been in the last couple of days, and that is up 81% in 8 days. So a week, 81%, and looking very good on the old price with maybe eHex also doing a little bit of breakout thing. We will see. We'll be watching this parity gap here. That is the key there. Not inevitable, but definitely the chances are there. If you like the APY argument, it's probably the biggest one in favor of the old eHex. At the moment, what are we going to say? Hex at the moment, combined Hex with eHex and PX is 3.03 cents. We did it, folks. We got back into the 3 cents. We got the highest of stakes official trailer coming out in the next day or two. And of course, maybe we'll get the actual film documentary. Maybe we'll find out some good news if they've got some big stream platforms. Then it's all game on for the brand awareness of Hex and Pulsechain. And of course, Richard Hart, the man himself, and all those people that decided to go on that movie. They probably get some attention, some of them. All right, we got 5 memberships out from Brian as well, just to end the live stream. 5 Hex Token memberships. So big thanks to Brian for supporting, one of our 2 community leaders in the house. And of course, Bob Farter got one of those. Chris, you always put this name in. Chris Psychedelics, I'm just going to say, got one there as well. Tim the Outdoor Barber got one. Andrew Mesterman got one, and Uncle Will got one as well. Hey, good to see you, Uncle Will, by the way. Got one as well. So congratulations to all of you. Great way to finish the live stream. As we're almost up to an hour and 15 minutes, which is normally my target time, hour and 15 minutes. Cheers for the super alpha, says Brennan. Hey, you're welcome. eHex will not die. A lot of 555 stakes and OGs are there as well. What else have we got there? Brian says, woohoo! That's true. All right, let's leave it out there. I'm going to play out some music on the way out. What a great day. Enjoy your green day. It is a Sunday here in New Zealand and Australia. And so, yeah, it is probably a green day on Saturday in the old United States of America, wherever you are around the world. I hope you guys have enjoyed yourself, and we'll catch you tomorrow, same time, same place, same Superman channel as we rock and roll. Take care, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. See you in Discord afterwards. Discord is 24/7. We've got an awesome community in there. Have a lot of fun, and welcome to all the new Hex Token memberships. We are just beginning. Day 58 has started of Pulsechain, so enjoy it. We're about to end month number 2. We're in price discovery phase. With month 3 and 4, we're going to have big top tier utilities launching. It's only going to get better from here. Take care, everybody. Bye for now.
$3,000 Valentino Rockstud purse, my $3,000 Prada jacket, $2,000 Prada shirt, $2,000 or $3,000 Prada pants, Prada glasses, Prada hat, Prada bracelet, and it's all product, Prada shirt, Prada hat, Prada glasses, Prada pants, and it's all nylon, so the haters' tears fall right off. Prada shirt, Prada hat, Prada glasses, Prada pants, and it's all nylon, so the haters' tears fall right off.
Lil Bubble, let me ride that rocket.